Life. Life is full of memories. Now, memories shape the subconscious by establishing neural pathways that dictates automatic behaviors, habits, emotional responses, and preferences without conscious recollection. Further thought, they influence our current mental life and actions by storing past experiences, which, if traumatic, can create hidden emotional triggers, leading to anxiety or phobias. Make sure I got nothing to point on that. Your subconscious. Why do we always talk about the subconscious when it comes to manifesting? Manifestation, any spiritual practice is healing. It brings healing to your subconscious because the subconscious controls the things that go on when it comes to our experiences of reality and how we experience reality. Neural pathways. The neural pathways are your cranial nerves and your neurotransmitters. Remember when I was talking about you can call upon the spirit of your neurotransmitters for whenever you need them, whenever you need a dopamine rush, whenever you need energy. You can call upon the spirit of your cranial nerves as healing. Also, shadow work. Your shadow comes from subconscious. Your shadow attracts your desires. Your shadow is what manifests. Okay? The things that are unconscious or in the subconscious projects and entwines in with the consciousness, because the conscious experiences the things from the subconscious. The subconscious is on autopilot. It automatically, by what you reprogram it to do, it automatically functions without any recollection. It just goes on demand. However, we can change the directory of our lives. We can change the subconscious, because if we change the subconscious, ultimately we can change our lives and for the better. Now, when it comes to shadow work, rewriting the things that were traumatic in a healing way. For instance, if something happens, rewrite whatever you've ever experienced it and transmute it into the memory that you would like it to be. Because the memories hold energy, and the energy holds frequencies. And ultimately, if you rewrite the memory of your subconscious, you can rewrite your story. Your storyline of your movie. Life is a movie. And it projects from the subconscious to the conscious. When you're doing shadow work, you're healing the inner child. Manifesting. Like I said, manifestation. You're healing the inner child. So all those wounds and the things, because if you keep on trying to relive the past, the only thing that'll show up continuously is of the past. The same people, the same experiences, and the same life. So it is of no relevance. It is of no relevance. Remember when I was also talking about the reticular activating system filters out information based off of what it deems as relevant. So if you continue to live in the past and reflect on, well, this, that, and happened, and you're reliving that. So That is programming. Reliving a story is ultimately programming your subconscious. So if you keep on reliving the things that you don't want, or reliving conversations that you don't want to remember, it will keep on showing up into the current reality that you call real. It's a story. It is a story. Okay? Truth has no alibi. Right? So your truth and how you imagine, because ultimately it's up to you. Are you going to keep on reliving those experiences, or are you going to make a change? Make a change. I'm talking to the man in the mirror. Or remember the memory that you want to remember. Have the memory that you want, so that your subconscious will go on autopilot and show you the memories that you want to see. Show you the life that you want to experience, as if you've already experienced it. So rewriting your past, rewriting your story. It doesn't matter how so-called negative it was or whatever. Rewrite it. You say, okay, this was a lovely day. This was a lovely day. This person gave me a compliment, or let's say if you had parents that yelled at you a lot, if you had parents that were talking down onto you a lot, that is a trigger. And then whenever you get into a situation where you do get faced with yelling and screaming, that trigger, the subconscious will remember, oh, hey, you know what? We're going to remember to respond this way. We're going to remember to respond to those words in this way. How did you rewrite that story? You rewrite that story by responding differently. Respond with a different approach. Respond by being calm instead of being aggressive. If you were more aggressive as a child, if you were more speak up, if you were more shut up, speak up. If you felt like your voice wasn't, you speak up and speak more. Either version, remember the story that you want to see and project out into your conscious reality. Because ultimately, like I said, your shadow, the shadow is what attracts. The shadow. But in order to balance, in order to have balance, you balance between shadow and higher self. But we're talking about the shadow right now. We're talking about the lower self. We heal by manifesting. We heal by manifesting because manifestation deals with the subconscious. What do we always talk about when it comes to manifestation techniques and methods? Writing, reprogramming by doing robotic affirmations, or listening to music with certain lyrics. Because when we're in the state of rhythm, or we're in the flow state deals with our subconscious. And if we are in a relaxed state, we take in the information that we want from our interests. And the subconscious goes off and puts the light into, or forces the light into into the consciousness, so that the consciousness can show you the reflection of what interests you. And it's on autopilot, changing your habits, becoming the person and the version that you want to experience. instead of the version that you don't want to experience. Instead of thinking about the past, or rewrite the past, rewrite it. Oh, well, I remember, you know what? I grew up in a palace. I grew up rich. I grew up in a rich lifestyle. Only thing I know is luxury. Only thing I know is this. Only thing I know is endless opportunities and amazing people who help. Okay. Be the actress. Be the actor. Be dramatic. Not dramatic. Hold on. Okay. But be who you want to be. You ultimately are the creator. You're subconscious. That's why as children, we take upon those traumas, those triggers, rewrite the code of ultimately your DNA. Rewrite the functions of your neural pathways. Go on trips, go on excursions, because it'll become habitual. It'll become habitual. Do the things that show up in the version that you want to see and be, ultimately. Go to fancy events if you want to be rich. Go to this beautiful museum. Go horseback riding. Go racetrack. I don't know. Anything that gets you out of your comfort zone, creating new neural pathways, so that you can attract the lifestyle or the story of your movie. But, like I said, when it comes to attracting your shadow, the lower self, because what is the shadow self? What is the lower self? It is primal. We have desires. Okay? We have pleasures. We have interests. Okay? Physical self has interests. Physical self has desires, sexual attraction, creation. Your sacral chakra is creation. Warping your reality in the way that you want to see it. So this also means getting rid of the people that only seen you in that version, because they will only remember the version that you don't want to be anymore. So if you want to be different, you have to walk differently and be in different environments that help you be different in the version that you are, or of interest. Consciousness, subconscious, they entwine. Lower self, higher self entwine. But we have to work with these things that are within us. And ultimately, it's not to say, and you know what? The people that say, you know, oh, when you was this, that, I remember when you was doing this, and they put you back into that frequency. It's low. Those people only know the version that is not evolved. And because they only know that version that's not evolved, and they keep on replaying that version, they are not evolved. So you can't be around the same people in the same crowd of situations in certain environments, because ultimately it becomes a trap. You're like, oh, and then you become like the environment that you are in. triggers, emotional, the phobias, the traumas. You rewrite that. You rewrite the story. You don't sit in it. You can't. If you want to manifest and be and attract the people into your life who are of the version that you want to experience, you can't be the old version. You can't keep on reliving those past fears, those past traumas, because if you keep on dwelling in the past, they will keep on showing up as if they are your current reality, because there is no such thing as time. Time is not linear. Time isn't linear. It's now. It's now. Time is now. Everything is in the now. So if universe knows nothing about yesterday, tomorrow, or the next day. It only knows about now. So living in the now. And if you're living in the past, and you're living in the frequency of all things of being a victim, or the victim mentality, you can't progress forward. Okay? Don't let anything, don't let that harbor, don't sit in that mindset, that frequency, that energy pattern, because you can't blame anyone else. You can't blame certain things. Okay. You acknowledge, okay, that happened, but you know what? Let me rewrite it. My life is very poetic. You're living in a poetic way of living. Poetic justice. You're living in poetic justice. Yes, you're living fierce. You're living very abundantly. You take risks. You are rewarded with your good deeds. You have all these accolades. You have all this thing. Oh my goodness, I'm so grateful for my experience as a child, because you know what? I have all these things now. I have all these. Your subconscious starts picking up on that. Oh, she was like this as a kid. Okay, you know what? She responds like this. She's very calm. She's very chill. She's cool, calm, and collected. This doesn't trigger her at all. You rewrite that. You study yourself. You study those triggers. You study those past traumas, and you rewrite it and make it poetic. You live a poetic life of luxury. Okay? And yes, you do have to be dramatic when it comes to the universe, because, universe can be dramatic when universe warps things into the existence of reality. However, you do it big. You dream big. You be bold. Be bold in your expression. Okay? Your memories. Subconscious. Remember the time when we fell in love? Remember the time. Remember the time. Remember when you got $100 million? You remember that? You remember when you bought a yacht? You remember when you took a trip to Las Vegas? You remember when you hit the lottery in the casino? You remember when all that stuff happened? You remember. You remember when you watched this video and you took heed to what I was saying, and you rewrote the code to your memories of your subconscious? And then you're living the life that you always wanted. Remember that? You remember when you watched this video? Ultimately, you're always going to hear about the subconscious. You're always going to hear about the subconscious. You're always going to hear about shadow work. Shadow work is important. You get yourself a journal. You write down. You can write down the things that happen to you and burn them and just say, oh, release. I release all the things that do not serve me, and I remove all the people that do not what was I about to say? That do not elevate me. Get rid of them. And then you rewrite. I remember when I was a kid, I got this, that, and the other. I remember I was treated so wonderfully. Everybody gave me candy. They gave me good gracious. You know, you rewrite that story. I remember when, you rewrite it. I remember when I always got compliments. I remember when I was always favored. Everybody just loved me. You rewrite it. So, ultimately, life is a movie. You rewrite down all the things that have happened to you as if they already happened, in the way that you would like it to be perceived. Rewrite the story as a memory. Your memories, your habits, okay? Your memories, your habits, those are what's in the subconscious. Your memories, your habits, your triggers, your trauma. You have to rewrite that and make it work for you and not against you. Don't let it work with it and let it work for you. Okay? So yeah.